Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News. Darren Williams off the back of last week's, quite exceptional night at Addington Raceway, a special night for the industry and for the Edmonds family. Kelly and Murray turned up on track. A lot of work went in behind the scenes from Stevie Golding, from Amy Edmonds, Sandy Curtin. They put together an amazing number of items for both the raffle and auctions and raised a lot of money and raised a fair bit of awareness too. And really nice to have Kelly and Murray on track, and they nearly won a race with Watching Our Coin. It was just a special night.
Yeah, look, it was. It was great to have such a big crowd on course and sort of sending some good wishes to Murray and to the family. It's good to see him on course, and the whole team, not just the three that were involved in the preparedness of the whole night, if you like, but everyone that got in behind and gave a hand physically. Helping with the room and everything else. It was a good team effort, and Addington were pleased to be part of it and host it. Not that we did too much about it. The team looked after most of it themselves and did a really good job, and I think everyone that was there, one, had a really good night, but two, acknowledged the family, and it was cool. As you say, Cran managed to upset the apple cart, and I think he paid for it later on, didn't
he? Yeah, look, he said it's the one time at a race meeting all he wanted to do was crawl under a table and hide, because it was a pretty hard result when you win a race and get there by a nose and beat the host of the night, if you like. But anyway, it was still all cool, and turnover-wise, it was an exceptional one for the club. Both $1.1 million on a Thursday night was good, but the GBR was outstanding.
Yeah, look, 28.3%. So we've had a couple of rough nights, and it was a good one Thursday night. A couple of upset results by some quite nice horses. A horse like Franco Mac and OK Boomer both paying $20 for the Purdon and Hayden Cullen team. So, look, we're on the right side of that one. It helps going forward, and it was certainly, regardless of that, it was a really good turnover for a Thursday night at 1.1.
Yep, got a few good things coming up, including our preview shortly of the 12-race card at Addington on Friday night, which includes the Lamb and Hayward Canterbury Classic, a key lead-up race for the IRT New Zealand Cup. But coming up on the 14th, you've got Members Night. That's an important night for the New Zealand Metropolitantrotting Club.
Yeah, so it's always well sought after that night. Anyone that is a member should have registered with the club or get in touch with the membership team at Addington Raceway just to register. There's a number of raffles or a number of prize draws, I should say, that happen on the night, and then our regular ones will start again after that. We've been through a rough time with the members, and we appreciate the help that they've given us through that whole COVID period, just trying to resettle on that. One of the things that we have done this last period of time is if you are a member of the club and you have a double membership, both you and your member's guest pass will get you a free drink on course at each and every race meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of other things I wanted to touch on. Speaking of owners, we talk about New Zealand Cup time and the challenges that come with trying to get them all on track. There's a whole lot of information at hrnz.co.nz to outline exactly what you need to know if you're an owner of a runner on New Zealand Cup Day.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Have a look at that. It's on the HRNZ site now. It's also been going out in our EDMs and our owners' emails each time just to remind them what's happening. There's not a lot of change, Greg, apart from the fact that we won't physically email a ticket. You still had to get that ticket, print that ticket, and attend the race course anyway, and then go to the marquee to get your lanyard. We're just going to put the marquee to collect your lanyards outside the gate. You just go up, get your lanyard. That's your ticket to get in, and through you come. There's no other changes to the numbers. The syndicates are limited to 10, and that's just a space issue problem, trying to make sure that we can accommodate everyone. Obviously, some syndicates have, hundreds of people in them. And whilst that's an important part of the racing industry, we've got to make sure that those people that own fuller shares in the horse are also accommodated on the day, and there's way too many to try and fit into marquees and things. So that we've arrived at that number. The syndicate manager will look after that, but as I say, nothing's changed there. The only slight change this time for both owners and members is that we will be using the payless way of paying for food and beverage on the day. That's been in vogue at Addington Raceway on Cup Day for a number of years now, but it will extend right across the course this time. A wristband as you come in that you activate and put some money on, and you simply wave it across as you purchase. It speeds up delivery of service and makes everything more comfortable. So all of that information, as we say, is on the site. We want to make sure that everyone's familiar with what's going to happen to them before they get here.
Yep, absolutely. It's IRT New Zealand Cup Day. Of course, last week we saw the Kilmore Cup, Rock and Roll Do taking that out. Really exciting time to see an Australian more than likely to be here too. Been speaking to them, it sounds pretty promising.
Yeah, look, the connection's already making their way or making plans to be over here, looking at accommodation and everything else. It'll be exciting to have him here. He looks like a really good staying horse. When I spoke to Mick Stanley a couple of weeks ago, he said sprinting wasn't his go, but he doesn't sprint too bad.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to have Aussie representation here, and be good to have Mick Stanley here. He's one of the leading trainers and up-and-coming trainers, if you can call him up-and-coming based on what he's done. But he's certainly making waves across Australia with the horses that he's had, and this looks like another pretty good one. A New Zealand bred one too, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of Long Live Lana, he's got a smart horse, and yep, I think it'll be really hard to beat. Let's get into the preview for Friday night. 12 races, Darren. BDJ will be hard to beat. We'll get to him in the Lamb and Hayward Classic very shortly, the Canterbury Classic. I like Major Talk early on as well, but let's go race by race for those who want to stick around and get our thoughts on those.
Yeah, look, it is a big program, a 12-race program, so we'll get through it as quickly as we can. But obviously, a full preview will be on the box seat this week. Have another look at that. The first segment back, or the first show back last week, Greg, and it seemed to go good. There was a lot of good information. I thought the piece on Lazarus was really cool to watch with Mark Purden. Race one.
Wasn't it pretty special? I mean,
yeah, race one at 4:40 is the IRT Your Horse Our Passion Trot, 2,600 metres.
Commence to and hell of a moment, was excellent for the Mott. Should lift off that run, and I think it'll take some beating. A couple of horses that can go close to it though. Isaiah, whichever way you want to go. It's owned by Jan Calvert. Gee, they've been a big part of Addington Raceway for a heck of a long time. 2 runs from her, 2 placings. Give her a big chance. Paramount Empress will be improved off that first up run, and does have races like the Trotting Oaks in her sights. And Feel the Moment's got plenty of breeding and trial form to go with it. 3, 9, 12 and 1 in the first.
Race 2 is the first leg of the early quaddie. Trackside Dining at Addington Mobile Pace, 1980 at 5:12.
Yeah, go with the Art Majors here. Icon and the other one being Major Talk. So Major Icon, Major Talk, not much between them. She thought Major Talk was pretty good in that size stakes he's last week behind OK Boomer. So I'm going to go for it over Major Icon. Smoke on the Water has ability to win a race like this. And Dream Prospect was a hard watch for punters last time. First up, look, he's better than that. And I think if he brings his A game, he can be very competitive. But inside second row won't make it easy. 6, 5, 3 and 10.
Race 3 is the Woodland Stud, celebrating 30 years, Mobile Pace, 1980, a fillies and mares race at 5:38. Just the 7 of them, Greg, but we're committed to be trying to run these each time, and this one a $20,000 race.
Yeah, 20K and only the 7 going to the post. I reckon La Rosa, gee, if you talk about hard watches, when that hard watch first up, just got it all wrong in the score up, tries to be pulled back by Gemma Thorney, just resented it, basically. From the draw, she can sprint out and get the lead here, and that'll make her hard to beat. True Fantasy class, we know that. Manhattan's also fresh up, and Cloudy Bay was terrific when fresh up. You got Life's a Beach in there, Kikarangi Blue, and Sounds of Cash. So although it's smaller numbers, it really is a deep race, but I think La Rosa and True Fantasy might fight it out.
Race number 4 is the Coca-Cola Mobile Trot. Big supporters at Addington Raceway, 1,980 metres at 6:13.
Yeah, good race. Harold Smith, excellent first up. Will derive plenty out of that. Although he's had 2 goes from behind the mobile gate, I don't think you can say that he's not a mobile horse. I think that was just in his first campaign. His run was terrific. I reckon he can win this. Over Royal Dell, who smashed them last week. We were big on him last week, Darren. delivered and delivered in really good style because he worked hard to get the lead. Sue Princess just keeps going great races, and Trixton Time's always suited to the 1980. It's a good race though. You got Jimmy Carter there. Maui, we know, is capable of winning a race like this. So good race, but I think it's Harold Smith's to lose.
The last leg of the quaddies, the Camp Tarp Team Handicap Pace, 2600, 648. Group of guys that won one of the sponsorships in a raffle as part of a charity fundraiser. I think this one for the Cancer Society's Daffodil promotion. So it'd be good to have those guys on course. I think they've made a real tongue twister out of the name, Greg, I think.
Yeah, haven't they? Yeah, good luck with that. Matt Cross trying to read it out as they go behind the gate, but he had a big week last week having to go to Auckland. He's calling them in great style at the moment, Matthew, and he'll do a great job here too. I was big on No Time Like Now, Darren. He just got the wrong spot. Yes, All American Lover was too good for them on that occasion, but he's improving this horse and he can win this race. Dashing Major was super in that same race. Fresh up, wouldn't need to improve much off that, would he? We've got those horses off 30 metres. It's not going to be easy for Shan Noble, Mikey Maguire, and it's all about faith, but expect them all to move. So I suppose it's the one that gets into the right position at the right time. And the interesting run is Corrivelli Star, first up for Regan Todd. Quality performer. He won a size stakes race at Addington Raceway, one of those $40,000 special races. And that night I thought, he can make his way to open class. And when you think he comes out of a Morris Holmes vase, he gets into this race beautifully. 6, 7, 14 and 1.
On any other program, that'd be the feature race, Greg. It's an outstanding field for a handicap race. Race number 6 is a Lazarus 3-year-old stakes in Mobile 1980. The first time this race has been run at 7:14, and of course features the second favourite for the New Zealand Cup in Akuta.
Yeah, it does. Of course, the Hannon winner, quality performer, as we know. Mark Purdon sticking to his guns. He was going to race against his own age group, and he's got 7 to go against. So good luck to him in this. Look, I just want to see him on track again. Saw him at the trials. When you see him physically, Darren, he's really developed, and he's got a, I like to say this in the wrong possible way, but a massive back end on him. Like, he's just really a racehorse now. And I expect him to win this. And if he's going to start in the Cup, he should win this. So I'll go for him on top. Republican Party was excellent first up. Magic 4. I think it needed the run last week. And there's been a bit of a virus going around a few stables. And I just see him being driven more positively tonight. He'll go forward if he gets the front and they don't attack him. He'll take some catching. Of course, he did win the Harness Million at Alexandra Park, beating Akuta and Company and Franco Indy and the like, Franco Mac, who are both in this race. Well, Franco Mac is. And Sandwave's an interesting runner. Nathan Williamson saying on radio the other day couldn't be more happy with him. So very, very good race. It'll take a special performance for someone to beat Akuta, though.
Race number 7 is the Gary Thompson Handicap Trot, 2600. Massive supporter at Addington Raceway with his late mate, Fred Shaw. 7:42, Greg, and this is a feature race with, whilst a small stake, and they've got bigger stakes and bigger fish to fry, this is a field that anyone would be proud of with open class trotters.
Oh, no question at all. Dominion winners, Habibi Inter, and of course the last couple of years, Sunday Sun. Look, he resumes. He starts off 30 metres with Muscle Mountain. I think that run under Muscle Mountain's belt probably gives him the advantage, but not much between them. And he's trialled, and he trialled great, and they wouldn't be lining up unless they thought he was ready. He is always a little bit susceptible first up, or a little bit suspect. So, yeah, I think I'll go for Muscle Mountain over him. Good chance to Enhine, who was superb last time. BB Inter pulled in, wrapped with him. He may well take another couple of runs, but I want to have him in my first 4, and Midnight Dash is always around about it. But I'll go for Muscle Mountain. And in a race, yeah, as you say, Gary Thompson, huge contributor to Addington Raceway.
Race number 8 is the Bills Bar and Bistro Mobile Pace 1980 at 8:12. And Greg, this will be a race that people will be well worth recording or going back and watch. There won't be many of these that don't win a race.
No, you're right. And the Craig Thompson My Sky race of the week this will be, because a lot of trial form, a little bit of race day exposed form, but for some of them, the likes of Daredevil, it's a wee while ago. In fact, his last run, of course, was in the Sapling Stakes. So he comes up with barrier 1. He's a definite top 3 chance for mine. I think Stablemate Wild Willow can win it, though. Love the way the Son of Art Major's trialled. I reckon he'll take all sorts of beating. Really well bred horse, double time, had a double twist by a rock and roll dance, very closely related, of course, therefore, to Twist and Twirl and that family. So King of Swing, look, I think it's a big chance on its trial form. And Sinbad's a horse that's trialled nicely too, also from the All-Stars. Tricky race. Best advice I can give punters here, have a look at the market, because the bookies normally get it right. And if they come for one, particularly of the All-Stars, you need to go with it too.
Race number 9's the feature of the night, the Lamb and Hayward Canterbury Classic, a Group 2 race for $50,000. Standing start 2,600 at 8:41, Greg. And this is featuring South Coast Arden resuming after winning the race last year, and of course Self Assured, along with a number of other horses that are trying to make their way to the IRT New Zealand Cup. As we talked about in the office today with you, there's a lot of different form lines that are making their way towards the Cup. We're going to have Copy that come back in on this. We've got Kango to come down, perhaps Hot and Treacherous. And the form is going to mix itself up, and they're going to all culminate in there on the second Tuesday in November.
And I think that's magnificent. That's what will draw attention to it, because people are just not sure what's the best form line. This race is always a great guide to the Cup, though. Self Assured comes up with barrier 2. Look, he won the Cup 2 years ago. He went very close last year off a second row draw. He's trialled nicely. He had a searching trial behind race rival BD Joe, who I reckon Darren's got the advantage this week. He's not only had a couple of races, he stormed home last time. He comes off the unruly. He seems to have his manners intact. This is his big chance to beat these horses, and he'll give you a great sight. Spankum's just a great horse. The Miracle Mile winner, he won the Messenger and Taylor Mile. He's been around a long time, but you can't discount his chances. And South Coast Arden's trial was way better than what some journos and scribes thought. He ran right up and behind them, and he did win this race last year in a fresh condition. So don't discount his chances. Cranbourne's in it. I love him. He's a big, strong horse. If he gets the right run, he's got a winning chance too. But I think BD Joe might be the best each way in the race.
It's one of those nights, Greg, where you look at the results at the end of the night, and there's 3 or 4 that you quite like that are very, very good horses that have paid exceptional place money, because there's just that many good horses amongst them. Race number 10 is the Avon City Ford Trot. Yeah, race number 10, the Avon City Ford Trot, a standing start 2,000 metres at 9:09.
I've never had a whole lot of love for Wi-Fi, but when a horse stays in a stable like the All-Stars for that long and has trialled up really nicely this time in, they're not doing it because they don't think he can win races. And I think he can win this fresh up. I give him a great chance. He beat High Energy, who I have a lot of time for at the trials. And yeah, I think Wi-Fi's a great winning chance in this to beat Masterclass, who couldn't have gone any better on debut. This one trained by Kimberly Butt, raced by Kim and her grandmother, Jenny Butt. So, good luck to them with him. He looks a horse with plenty of ability. Didn't mind Tiamo Bell, fresh up, filly by Love You, with a lot of breeding too, for Jack Harrington. Give it a chance. And Gazza Beat is another one well-bred, who was good on debut, but was excellent at the Mott winning at the weekend. I know it's a big step up, but I reckon he's got a fair amount of ability, Gazza Beat. So I'll mark them 4, 14, 11 and 5.
Second last race on a massive program. The Cup Week tickets selling fast, and they are addington.co.nz for all that information. A mobile 2,600, Greg, at 9:34.
Yeah, Monaco Grace for me, for the Mark Jones team. Terrific run at Oamaru behind Queen of Diamonds and Obsession. Of course, that was in the Neville heat. Wouldn't need to lift much off that to win this. So I'm happy to have her on top of Rakiro Rebel, who I thought was terrific first up and behind First Rose. Another one that wouldn't need to improve much. Hail Lucius, always competitive. And Dance Till Dawn's way better than her form would indicate. 8, 1, 7 and 10, leaving out a horse like Live On Legend, who's got the right barrier draw to be competitive too. But one of those races, a tricky one.
The last race on the card, 9:58, is the First Direct Taxis Mobile, 1,980 metres.
Yeah, Vinca B for me, and outside of the front row, trialled up really nicely. Last start winner of the Sapling Stakes. Pretty smart horse this, so I'll go for it over Watermelon Sugar. who was a last start winner too. That was at Awabaru off the back of that third behind Charlie Brown. All of those form lines are really, really strong. With Styles, trialled nicely. A quality performer. It's another one that comes out of the sapling at its last start, but has trialled really strongly. And Street Art's the first up in this campaign. It's only had one start, one win. Of course, Street Art was a winner at Wyndham back in March and is trained by Craig Ferguson, so he doesn't come to Addington unless he's got the right sort of horse. 9, 8, 6 and 3. Terrific 12-race program. Big day on Sunday at Timaru with those spring rewards as well. It's an exciting time to be in the game, Darren.
Yeah, look, hopefully you've stuck with us. We've had a few technical issues that have challenged us tonight, but we've got a massive program, as you say. There's a pick six on the cards at the time that we've gone to air here with this. We haven't got a guaranteed pull yet from the TAB, but keep an eye on tab.co.nz for all of that, plus all the power plays that we have. Anton will be belting out a bit of music and Spectators about 9 o'clock through to probably close to midnight. Welcome to come in there and enjoy the rest of the remainder of the night after the races. It's going to be a beauty. We're going to leave you with last year's Canterbury Classic, Greg, with South Coast Arden taking it out. We know that Brent Mangos will be keen to be back on course and back in the bike driving him. He's a good horse in himself, and he was very, very good in the free-for-all last year.
Yep, he certainly was. Let's go and have a look at him.
Playboy in front. South Coast Arden's a half a length away from Self-Assured. Pembroke Playboy. South Coast Arden coming. Pembroke Playboy just in front. South Coast Arden diving from Self-Assured. It's South Coast Arden's Canterbury Classic. South Coast Arden beat Pembroke Playboy and Self-Assured. Fourth in was Classy Brigade from Robbins Playboy and Can Go. Then Henry Hubert, that Alexander guy, Vintage Cheddar, and Memphis, Tennessee.